And here's why I think it's irritating, and I know it's highly ineffective, to call your customer and say, hey, who you know is in the market for a car? If only 4% of the population is in the market for a car or truck at any one time, what are the chances of them knowing? 4%, right? So they're not going to know. But if David stays in touch with me, sooner or later I'm going to be playing golf at a party, drinking, at dinner, at church, and someone's going to say they're in the market for a car. I'm going to go, whoa, 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 you need to go see my man David. He didn't ask me for a referral, but because he has stayed in touch with me, I know who he is. So I will provide him referrals. The salespeople that make the most money in this business have just become a lot of people's favorite automobile salesperson. So between the messages that Mike and Jeremy gave you when it comes to branding, look, I know you're making money hand over foot right now. I get that, all right? There's never been a better time to be an automobile salesperson than December 7th, 2021. And I hope it, hell, I hope it stays this way for the next couple years. Nobody knows what's going to happen, quite frankly. I mean, I read everything I can about this business, and for every expert that says things are going to break loose in the first quarter of 2022, there's another one that says it's going to be 2024, and there's going to be 50 people in between. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Do we all wish we had more vehicles to sell? Yeah, but when we have more vehicles to sell, what's going to happen? Price is probably going to go down, okay? So make the best of the economic environment that you're in right now, but also plan for the future. One of the salespeople I know, he's a highly successful guy, you know, close to $500,000 a year. He leaves this message, because he told me he tries to contact all of his customers once a month. I said, there's no way you can do that. He said, what do you mean? I said, you've got too many customers. No, you wouldn't have time to do anything else. He goes, well, Steve, I send half of them an email, I make phone calls the other half, and I get voicemail 80% of the time. Is that about right?
Yeah.
He goes, I just leave messages. I just make sure they don't forget who I am. I said, what's the message? He said, the voice message I leave is exactly the same as the email I send. And the voice message is this: hey, this is Tom, your salesman at the name of the dealership. No need to call me back unless there's something I can do for you. This is Tom, your salesman. Have a great day. That's his email, and that's his voice message. And this guy gets 25 to 30 referrals every single month. He averages 60 cars a month. Month and a half ago, I was in Detroit, and I went to Les Stevens Chevrolet. I went there for one reason. I wanted to meet the guy who holds the record for the most vehicles ever sold in 1 year. He broke Joe Girard's record. His name is Ali Reedy. Couldn't have been a nicer guy. He sold 1,506 vehicles in 2018 or 2019.
Not fleet.
No, not fleet. No, in fact, this store sells 300 Corvettes a month.
Wow.
Yeah, they're number one Corvette store in the world. Yeah. Oh, well, they're not doing it now. Nobody is. So before we get into what I was going to talk about, I wanted to just hitchhike on what Mike and Jeremy said in the Zoom meeting, because both of them are spot on. If you're going to be in this business for the rest of your life, and I hope that you plan on being in the business for the rest of your life, you might as well make the most of it. I got into the business, I was going to do it for 6 weeks, 42 years ago. Somebody in the last class goes, well, tell us when you were selling cars. I said, I never tell stories about when I sold cars, because when I sold cars, it was the dark ages, okay? The BMW 3 Series I sold was $13,000, and that was brand new. The most expensive domestic I had was a Pontiac Grand Prix. I sold Hondas. Well, that's bullshit. I didn't sell Hondas because when the truck came in, we dialed up the people on the waiting list and gave them like an hour to get there. And when they went into the finance office, everything was all filled out. If they didn't want everything on the contract, they didn't get the Honda. And the most expensive Honda was the Honda Prelude at $6,750. That was my first new car. I bought it for $6,750, and 3 years later sold it for $6,750. Ask me what I drive today. I still drive Hondas. Okay, my wife drives them and I drive them. I went through a midlife crisis, drove Porsches for a little bit, went right back to the Hondas. All right, so